Good day to you all. Perhaps, like so many I've spoken with over the years, you know that feeling all too well, waking up not to the gentle light of morning, but to a familiar, unwelcome stiffness. That ache in the fingers that makes simple tasks like buttoning a shirt or holding a warm cup feel like a challenge. Or maybe it's the deep throb in the knees, the hips a constant, nagging reminder with every single step that your body doesn't move with the freedom it once did. This sensation, it's more than just physical discomfort, isn't it? It weaves its way into the fabric of your life. It can steal precious hours of sleep, leaving you tired before the day even begins. It might make you hesitate when your grandchild runs towards you, arms outstretched, because the thought of lifting them brings a twinge of anticipated pain. That garden you once loved tending might seem overwhelming now. The dance floor, the hiking trails, the simple joy of a long walk. Perhaps they feel like memories from a different chapter. Living with arthritis, whether it's the wear and tear of osteoarthritis or the immune system's confusion in rheumatoid arthritis, is often a silent, daily battle. It doesn't just limit our movement, it can slowly chip away at our spirit, leaving us feeling weary, frustrated, and sometimes quite isolated in our struggle. Many have shared with me that feeling of being trapped within their own bodies, yearning for ease and mobility, but held back by this persistent pain and stiffness. And in the search for relief, I know many of you have become well acquainted with the usual companions: the pain-relieving pills, the soothing creams, perhaps even injections. And yes, let's be clear, these can offer valuable, temporary respite. They can help manage acute flare-ups, allowing you to get through the day, to function. That benefit is undeniable. However, as a physician committed to long-term well-being, I must also share a deeper concern. Relying solely on these methods often feels like turning down the volume on a fire alarm without actually addressing the fire itself. We know that long-term use of many common anti-inflammatory drugs can carry significant risks. The potential for stomach upset, even ulcers, the added strain on our vital organs like the kidneys and liver, concerns about cardiovascular health or bone density. These are not insignificant trade-offs. And sometimes, it feels like we're merely chasing symptoms, masking the discomfort while the underlying issue continues its slow, damaging work beneath the surface. So, what is that underlying fire? In the vast majority of cases, dear friends, the culprit is inflammation. Now, inflammation itself isn't inherently bad. It's the body's natural, protective response to injury or infection. Think of a cut finger swelling up, that's inflammation working to heal. But when this process becomes chronic, when it persists day after day within our joints, it turns destructive. It causes that familiar swelling, heat, redness, and pain. Over time, this relentless, low-grade fire can slowly erode the precious cartilage that cushions our bones, leading to more pain, more stiffness, and further joint damage. Whether it's OA or RA, chronic inflammation is almost always the central character in the story of your joint pain. And here lies a crucial connection, one that perhaps hasn't been emphasized enough. What we eat holds profound power over that smoldering fire of inflammation. Yes, you heard that correctly. The food choices we make every day can either act like fuel, fanning the flames and potentially worsening our joint pain without us even realizing the link, or they can act like a soothing balm, helping to naturally calm that inflammation from the inside out, offering relief without the unwanted side effects. Your diet is far more than just calories for energy or numbers on a scale. It is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, tools you possess for managing inflammation at its very source. This isn't some new age fad. Ancient healing traditions have understood this connection for centuries, and modern science is now providing compelling evidence to support what wisdom has long known. Food can be medicine, especially for inflammatory conditions like arthritis. So, could it be that some of the most potent relief you're searching for isn't waiting at the pharmacy counter, but rather quietly sitting in your own kitchen pantry right now? Could it be that true, lasting comfort might be found not in an expensive new drug, but in something as simple, as fundamental, as your next meal? What if I told you there are certain humble, everyday foods, not exotic, superfoods, not costly supplements, but familiar staples that most people walk right past in the grocery store, completely unaware of the incredible healing power they contain? Foods packed with specific nutrients that science is showing can directly target joint inflammation, help repair damaged tissues, and potentially bring back a level of comfort and mobility you thought was lost. Are you curious to know what these unsung heroes are? To understand how these simple foods can make such a profound difference, and most importantly, how you can easily start incorporating them into your life to begin feeling better, perhaps sooner than you think. Let us journey together then, as we uncover these natural allies in your fight against joint pain. The answers might be simpler, closer, and more delicious than you ever imagined. So, where do we begin this journey into food as medicine for our joints? We start with something incredibly simple, something you've likely seen countless times lining the grocery store shelves, often overlooked in favor of flashier options. I'm talking about lentils. Yes, lentils. These tiny, disc-shaped legumes, coming in earthy shades of green, brown, red, and yellow. They don't boast fancy packaging or celebrity endorsements. They are, by all accounts, humble and remarkably affordable. Yet, concealed within these unassuming little seeds lies a truly extraordinary combination of nutrients, a potent blend perfectly suited to support those of us battling the daily discomfort of joint pain and inflammation. Think of them not just as food, but as tiny, edible powerhouses working quietly to bring relief and restoration to your body. What makes these simple legumes so special for aching joints? First and foremost, let's talk about protein. We often associate protein with building muscle, and that's absolutely crucial when dealing with arthritis. Strong muscles surrounding our joints act like natural braces, providing vital support, taking pressure off the affected areas, and reducing pain with every movement. Now, many common protein sources, particularly red meats, can unfortunately have an inflammatory downside, potentially making arthritis symptoms worse. Here's where lentils shine. They offer a generous amount of high-quality plant-based protein, nearly 18 grams in a single cooked cup, about a third of what many adults need daily, without fanning those inflammatory flames. Instead, the protein in lentils helps your body repair damaged tissues and build that essential muscular support system, working with your body, not against it. This is especially important if pain has made you less active, as muscle loss can happen surprisingly quickly. But the benefits of lentils extend far beyond just protein. They are absolutely packed with a mineral that is critical for joint comfort, yet notoriously deficient in many modern diets, especially among those with arthritis. Magnesium. Think of magnesium as your body's natural muscle relaxant. It helps to ease the tension in muscles that often tighten protectively around sore joints. It plays a vital role in reducing that dreaded morning stiffness that can make getting out of bed feel like climbing a mountain. It even helps regulate the nerve signals that transmit pain messages to your brain. Many people report a noticeable difference in how their joints feel less tense, less achy, when they consciously increase their magnesium intake, and lentils are a fantastic, natural way to do just that. Another key player found abundantly in lentils is potassium. While bananas often get the spotlight for potassium, lentils actually offer more of this essential mineral per serving. Why does potassium matter for your joints? It plays a crucial role in maintaining proper fluid balance within your body and helps flush out excess sodium. Too much sodium, often hidden in processed foods, encourages water retention, which can lead to increased swelling in and around your joints. More swelling means more pressure on sensitive nerve endings, translating directly into more pain. By embracing potassium-rich foods like lentils, you're giving your body the tools it needs to restore that delicate fluid balance and naturally reduce that painful puffiness. Less swelling often means significantly less discomfort with movement. Now, let's talk about something incredibly important for overall health and particularly relevant to inflammation: fiber. Most of us simply don't get enough fiber, and this shortfall is directly linked to increased inflammation throughout the body. Lentils are fiber superstars, providing both soluble and insoluble types. This fiber does two crucial things for joint health. Firstly, it helps to stabilize blood sugar levels. Those sharp spikes and subsequent crashes in blood sugar that can happen after eating refined carbohydrates or sugary foods are known triggers for inflammatory responses in the body. The fiber in lentils slows down sugar absorption, promoting steady energy and preventing those inflammatory surges. Secondly, lentil fiber is essential fuel for the beneficial bacteria living in your gut. There's a fascinating and rapidly growing field of research highlighting the profound connection between our gut health and systemic inflammation, the very inflammation that affects our joints. An imbalanced gut microbiome can literally signal the body to increase inflammation. The fiber in lentils nourishes the good gut bacteria, helping to restore balance and calm down that body-wide inflammation. We're not done yet. Lentils also provide significant amounts of folate, a crucial B vitamin. You might not have heard much about a compound called homocysteine, but elevated levels of it in the blood have been directly linked to increased inflammation and worsened symptoms, particularly in conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Folate plays a key role in keeping homocysteine levels in check. Regularly enjoying folate-rich foods like lentils is another way you can help reduce a potential trigger for joint pain and swelling. And finally, let's touch upon iron. Fatigue is an incredibly common and debilitating symptom for many living with chronic inflammatory conditions like arthritis. Iron deficiency can be a contributing factor. Lentils offer a good plant-based source of iron, which is essential for carrying oxygen in your blood. Ensuring adequate iron helps combat that pervasive tiredness, giving you more energy to stay active. And staying active, even gently, is vital for maintaining joint mobility and preventing that downward spiral where pain leads to inactivity, which leads to more stiffness and pain. Remember to pair plant-based iron sources like lentils with vitamin C, rich foods like tomatoes or bell peppers often cooked with them to enhance absorption. So, you might be thinking, this sounds wonderful, but are lentils difficult to cook? How do I actually eat them? Here's more good news. Lentils are incredibly versatile and forgiving. Unlike many other dried beans, most lentils don't require soaking overnight. Just give them a good rinse, combine them with water or broth, usually a 103 ratio of lentils to liquid, and they typically cook in just 20-30 minutes, depending on the variety. How can you enjoy them? The possibilities are truly endless. Simmer them into a hearty, comforting soup with vegetables like carrots, celery, onions, and garlic which also have their own anti-inflammatory properties. Add a pinch of turmeric or ginger for an extra healing boost. Add cooked lentils, especially the firmer green or brown varieties, to salads for a substantial protein and fiber kick. They pair beautifully with a lemon, olive oil dressing. Make a flavorful Indian dal by simmering red lentils with tomatoes, onions, garlic, ginger, and spices like cumin, coriander, and turmeric. Serve it over brown rice for a complete, nourishing meal. Blend cooked lentils into dips or spreads, similar to hummus but with a different flavor profile. Use them as a base for vegetarian, meatloaf, or burgers. The key is to see lentils not just as a side dish, but as a foundational element in creating meals that actively fight inflammation. Combine them with colorful vegetables, healthy fats like olive oil, and other anti-inflammatory spices. A simple bowl of lentil soup, thoughtfully prepared, isn't just food, it's medicine in a bowl, working gently and persistently to soothe your aching joints from the inside out. This humble legume, often passed over, holds remarkable potential. Isn't it time we gave it the attention it deserves in our quest for natural joint relief? Next, we'll explore another readily available powerhouse. Having uncovered the quiet strength of lentils, let's broaden our natural toolkit with two more readily available, affordable, and remarkably effective allies. These foods, like lentils, might seem commonplace, but their nutritional profiles offer unique and powerful benefits for anyone seeking relief from the aches and stiffness of arthritis. First, let's turn our attention to the versatile and globally loved chickpea, also known as the garbanzo bean. These round, beige legumes have been cultivated for thousands of years, and for good reason. Ancient healing traditions recognized their nourishing properties, and modern science is now confirming just how beneficial they can be for joint health. Much like lentils, chickpeas provide a substantial dose of plant-based protein, around 15 grams per cooked cup, giving your body those essential building blocks for tissue repair and muscle support around painful joints. And again, Crucially, this protein comes packaged with naturally occurring compounds that help calm inflammation, rather than potentially fueling it like some animal proteins can. But chickpeas bring their own unique set of weapons to the anti-inflammatory fight. They are particularly rich in polyphenols. These are potent plant compounds that act as powerful antioxidants in your body. Imagine your joints are constantly under attack from unstable molecules called free radicals. These are byproducts of metabolism and inflammation itself, and they damage healthy cells, triggering more pain and deterioration. The polyphenols in chickpeas act like a dedicated defense force, neutralizing these harmful free radicals before they can wreak havoc, essentially providing your joints with a protective shield against ongoing damage. Chickpeas also make a surprising contribution of vitamin C. While we often think of citrus fruits, chickpeas contain a notable amount of this vital nutrient. Why is vitamin C so important for joints? It plays an indispensable role in the production of collagen. Collagen is the main structural protein found in our connective tissues, including the cartilage that cushions our joints. As we age, or with the progression of arthritis, cartilage can thin and wear down, leading to that painful bone-on-bone contact characteristic of osteoarthritis. By supplying your body with vitamin C from sources like chickpeas, you're supporting ongoing collagen synthesis, helping to maintain that crucial cushioning for smoother, more comfortable movement. We also revisit our friend magnesium in chickpeas. As mentioned, magnesium deficiency is common in arthritis sufferers, sometimes even exacerbated by certain medications. This deficiency can worsen muscle tension, increase pain sensitivity, and contribute to fatigue. The magnesium in chickpeas helps relax those tight muscles around sore joints, can lessen stress, induced inflammation, and even contributes to better sleep quality, which is absolutely essential for pain management and the body's natural repair processes. The fiber in chickpeas also offers that double benefit we discussed, stabilizing blood sugar levels to prevent inflammatory spikes and promoting a healthy gut microbiome, which we now know is intricately linked to systemic inflammation affecting the joints. Furthermore, the fiber and protein combination in chickpeas helps you feel fuller for longer, making them a great ally if managing weight is also part of your strategy, as excess body fat itself produces inflammatory compounds. One particularly interesting aspect of chickpeas is their alkalizing effect on the body. Many common foods in the modern Western diet, processed grains, sugar, excessive animal products, tend to create a more acidic internal environment. Research suggests this acidic state can promote inflammation and potentially even leach minerals from bones over time. Chickpeas, being alkaline, forming, help nudge your body back towards a more balanced pH, creating an environment less hospitable to chronic inflammation. So, how can we welcome these versatile beans into our meals? The possibilities are truly delightful. Hummus, perhaps the most famous chickpea creation. This creamy, delicious spread made from blended chickpeas, tahini, sesame pasty, lemon juice, garlic, and olive oil is incredibly easy to make at home. Customize it with anti-inflammatory additions like turmeric, roasted red peppers, or fresh herbs. Use it as a dip for vegetables, spread it on whole grain toast, or even thin it out as a creamy pasta sauce. Roasted chickpeas, a fantastic, crunchy snack alternative to processed chips. Simply drain and thoroughly dry canned chickpeas, toss them with a little olive oil and your favorite spices, smoked paprika, cumin, garlic powder, or even just salt and pepper, and roast them in a hot oven until golden and crispy. They're satisfyingly crunchy and packed with protein and fiber. Soups and stews. Chickpeas add wonderful texture and substance to soups and stews. Think of a hearty Moroccan-inspired stew with chickpeas, sweet potatoes, apricots, and warming spices like cinnamon and ginger, or a simple Mediterranean vegetable soup fortified with chickpeas. Salads. Toss whole chickpeas into green salads or create a dedicated chickpea salad with chopped cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, olives, and a light vinaigrette. Chickpea flours. Besan gram flour. This versatile flour can be used to make savory pancakes, like Indian besan chilla or French sakka, crepes, or even as a binder in veggie burgers. Now, let us turn to our third powerhouse, one that is often misunderstood and sometimes unfairly maligned: tofu. Made from soybeans, tofu has occasionally gotten a reputation for being bland or having a strange texture. But I urge you to look past any preconceived notions, because for those dealing with arthritis pain, this humble food offers a unique and potent combination of joint-supporting nutrients. What makes tofu stand out? It begins with its status as a complete protein. This is quite special in the plant kingdom. Tofu contains all 9 essential amino acids that our bodies cannot produce on their own and must obtain from food. This complete protein profile makes tofu exceptionally good at supporting tissue repair and maintaining muscle mass around damaged joints, all without the inflammatory baggage that can sometimes accompany animal proteins. Strong supporting muscles, as we know, are crucial for joint stability and pain reduction. Perhaps surprisingly to some, tofu can also be a source of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid (ALA). While fatty fish are famous for their EPA and DHA omega-3s, our bodies can convert some ALA into these beneficial forms. These omega-3s work directly to suppress the production of inflammatory compounds in the body. Like certain cytokines and leukotrienes, think of these as the chemical messengers that tell your joints to swell up, ache, and stiffen. The omega-3s in tofu essentially help to quiet down these inflammatory signals. This effect can be particularly noticeable for people with rheumatoid arthritis, potentially leading to reduced morning stiffness and fewer painful flare-ups over time. One of the most impressive aspects of tofu, especially relevant to long-term joint health, is its content of isoflavones. These are natural plant compounds, sometimes called phytoestrogens, that have shown specific benefits for joints. Research suggests that the isoflavones in soy foods like tofu can help preserve bone density, incredibly important, as some arthritis medications can unfortunately contribute to bone loss. Furthermore, these same compounds have been found to inhibit certain enzymes that break down joint cartilage. In essence, they may help put the brakes on the progression of osteoarthritis. Several studies have observed that populations consuming soy foods regularly tend to have less cartilage deterioration over time. Tofu is also an excellent source of calcium, especially varieties that are calcium-set. C meaning calcium salts are used in the production process, check the label. This provides a fantastic dairy-free way to get this crucial bone-building mineral, avoiding the casein proteins in dairy that can be inflammatory triggers for some individuals. A single serving of calcium-set tofu can provide a significant portion of your daily calcium needs, and often, commercially available tofu is fortified with vitamin D. This creates a powerful synergistic duo. Vitamin D is essential for your body to properly absorb and utilize the calcium. Vitamin D deficiency is extremely common, particularly among people with chronic inflammatory conditions, and it's linked to increased pain sensitivity, muscle weakness, and potentially accelerated joint damage. Getting both calcium and vitamin D from tofu is a smart strategy for bone and joint health. Finally, tofu also contains selenium, a trace mineral with potent antioxidant properties that specifically help protect your joints from oxidative damage caused by those harmful free radicals we discussed earlier. Studies have found that people with arthritis often have lower selenium levels, and increasing intake has been linked to reduced pain and improved function. But the taste, the texture, I hear you ask. The wonderful thing about tofu is its incredible versatility, largely because it has a neutral flavor. Think of it as a blank canvas. It readily absorbs the flavors of whatever you cook it with: marinades, sauces, spices. Firm and extra firm tofu, these are best for cubing, grilling, baking, stir-frying, or crumbling like ground meat. The key is pressing it first. Place the block between paper towels or clean cloths. Put something heavy on tops, like a cutting board with some cans, and let it sit for 15-30 minutes to squeeze out excess water. This allows it to brown better and absorb marinades beautifully. Try marinating pressed cubes in soy sauce or tamari, ginger, garlic, and a touch of maple syrup. Then pan fry or bake until golden. Add these to stir-fries, salads, wraps, or grain bowls. You can also crumble it and saute it with spices like turmeric and black salt for a delicious tofu scramble. Resembling scrambled eggs. Silken and soft tofu, these have a smooth, creamy texture, perfect for blending. Add silken tofu to smoothies for a protein boost without altering the flavor much. Blend it into creamy salad dressings or sauces as a dairy-free alternative. You can even use it to make desserts like chocolate pudding or vegan cheesecakes. Don't be intimidated by tofu. Start with extra firm, press it well, season it boldly with flavors you already love. Think Italian herbs, Mexican spices, Asian sauces, and cook it until it's nicely browned. You might be pleasantly surprised at how delicious and satisfying this misunderstood food can truly be, all while delivering a powerful dose of joint-loving nutrients. With lentils, chickpeas, and tofu now in our anti-inflammatory arsenal, we have a formidable team of plant-based proteins ready to help us reclaim comfort and mobility. In our final part, we'll discuss how to weave these powerhouses seamlessly into your daily life for lasting relief. We've journeyed together, uncovering the hidden strengths within the humble lentil, the versatile chickpea, and the often misunderstood tofu. We've seen how these readily available, affordable plant-based proteins are packed with specific nutrients from muscle-building protein and calming magnesium to inflammation, fighting omega-3s and bone, supporting calcium, all working synergistically to soothe aching joints and combat the underlying fire of chronic inflammation. But knowledge, as they say, is only potential power. True power comes from action. So, the crucial question now is, how do we take this valuable information and translate it into real, tangible changes in our daily lives? How do we effectively integrate these healing foods to achieve meaningful, sustainable relief from arthritis pain? The good news is, you don't need to embark on a radical, overnight diet overhaul. In fact, trying to change too much too quickly often leads to feeling overwhelmed and giving up. When managing a chronic condition like arthritis, small, consistent steps usually yield the most lasting results. My first piece of advice is to start simply. Choose just one of these 3 powerhouses, whichever feels most approachable to you right now. Perhaps it's adding lentils to a soup once or twice this week. Maybe it's trying those roasted chickpeas as an afternoon snack instead of reaching for something processed. Or perhaps you're curious to experiment with that pressed and marinated tofu in a stir-fry. Just pick one and aim to incorporate it into a couple of meals over the next 7 days. See how it feels. Get comfortable with preparing it. Once that feels manageable, perhaps next week, introduce a second option into your rotation. Maybe you continue with the lentil soup and also try making a batch of hummus with chickpeas. Gradually, over the course of a few weeks, aim to have all 3 lentils, chickpeas, and tofu making regular appearances on your weekly menu. Find preparations that you genuinely enjoy. This isn't about forcing yourself to eat things you dislike, but about discovering delicious ways to nourish your body. Remember, consistency is far more important than perfection. Even including these foods just a few times a week can begin to shift the balance within your body towards less inflammation. Now, let's talk about synergy. While each of these foods is powerful on its own, their benefits can be amplified when they work together as part of an overall anti-inflammatory eating pattern. Don't be afraid to combine these allies in a single meal. Imagine a hearty, nourish bowl, a base of warm, cooked lentils, topped with crunchy roasted chickpeas, savory pan-fried tofu cubes, perhaps some steamed greens, all drizzled with a healthy lemon, tahini dressing, or a mixed bean salad featuring both lentils and chickpeas, or a hearty vegetable stew simmered with both lentils and cubed tofu. Each food brings its unique profile of inflammation, fighting compounds, working together from multiple angles to support your joints. Consider strategic timing, too. Many people experience their worst stiffness and pain first thing in the morning. This makes breakfast an ideal opportunity to front-load your day with anti-inflammatory goodness. How about starting your day with a smoothie blended with silken tofu, spinach, berries, and perhaps some flax or chia seeds, more omega-3s? That savory tofu scramble with turmeric we talked about. Overnight oats prepared with a spoonful of red lentils cooked in, they blend right in. A savory pancake made from chickpea flour, perhaps topped with avocado. By proactively giving your body these healing compounds early on, you might find you get ahead of the pain before it has a chance to take hold and dictate your day. As you begin incorporating these foods more regularly, listen closely to your body. The changes might be subtle at first. Perhaps you notice the morning stiffness isn't quite as intense or doesn't last quite as long. Maybe you find you have a bit more energy in the afternoons. Or perhaps certain activities start to feel just a little bit easier, with slightly less pain. It can be helpful to keep a simple journal, noting your pain levels on a scale of 1 to 10, perhaps your energy, your mobility, and what you ate. Seeing these patterns of improvement emerge over time, even small ones, can be incredibly motivating. And please, be patient with yourself and with the process. Arthritis often develops over many years. Natural healing also takes time. The inflammatory processes driving your pain didn't appear overnight, and they won't disappear overnight either. While some people report noticing improvements within 2 to 3 weeks of consistently including these foods, for others it might take longer. Don't get discouraged if you don't experience dramatic results immediately. Trust the process. Give your body the time and the consistent nourishment it needs to respond. Persistence is key. It's also important to see these 3 plant-based proteins, lentils, chickpeas, and tofu, as star players on a larger team. They represent a fantastic starting point, a powerful core strategy for natural arthritis relief. But as you begin to experience their benefits, you might feel inspired to explore other elements of an anti-inflammatory lifestyle. This includes filling your plate with a rainbow of fresh fruits and vegetables, thus especially berries and leafy greens, incorporating other healthy fats like those found in avocados, nuts, and seeds like flax, chia, hemp, and utilizing the potent anti-inflammatory properties of herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, cinnamon, and rosemary. At the same time, consciously reducing your intake of known inflammatory triggers like excess sugar, refined grains, processed meats, and unhealthy industrial seed oils will further enhance the benefits. Throughout this journey, hold on to this fundamental truth. Your body possesses an incredible, innate capacity for healing. It wants to find balance. It wants to repair itself. The pain you feel, while real and challenging, is not your fixed destiny. It is, in many ways, simply information, a signal from your body that something needs attention, that something needs to change. By embracing these healing foods, you are doing far more than just managing symptoms. You are actively addressing the root causes of your discomfort. You are providing your body with the very building blocks and anti-inflammatory compounds it needs to quiet down that internal fire, repair damaged tissues, and create the conditions for genuine, lasting healing to occur. So, I encourage you, open your pantry doors, open your mind, and make room for these 3 powerful allies in your fight against arthritis pain. Lentils, chickpeas, tofu, they are waiting to help. Your joints are waiting for the relief that nature has provided all along. It's affordable, it's accessible, and it's effective healing that can begin with your very next meal. Take that step. Give your body the gift of natural nourishment and begin reclaiming the comfort, mobility, and vibrant life you deserve.